Now, moving on to the House January 6th Select Committee that's holding its first public hearings in months starting tomorrow.
Yeah, the committee member, Adam Schiff, says that the hearing will shed light on a key element of former President Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. He also says that the committee will present never-before-seen evidence. Schiff says that there have been additional interviews with former top aides and advisors to the former president since the last hearing earlier this year. For more on all of this, CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us. Scott, Vice Chairwoman Liz Cheney says that the committee received about 800,000 pages of Secret Service communications. We have been talking about this. Tell our viewers how critical this information could be to the committee's investigation.
800,000 pages is a blessing and a curse, Lana.
Sure.
And that's a lot of records. It's a lot of pages to go through, but that's the thing. It's a lot of records and a lot of pages to go through. Part of this, the committee invited upon itself by requesting so much from the Secret Service as a component of its investigation. But the committee has been clear. They want to know what the Secret Service was saying, what its protectees perhaps were doing during the pivotal hours of January 6th and the hours before and after the U.S. Capitol attack. They've been trying to connect dots here, and they believe the Secret Service records will help them do so. There's an increasing amount of pressure on this committee. This could be their final public hearing, and they have an awful lot they want to show. They have done so much intake, hundreds of interviews, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pieces of paper collected, and they want to reveal their findings. This may be their last audience before the American people, last televised audience at least, to show their work. So, as is often the case with a final game or a finale of a show, they want to get a lot of things into a finite period of time.
You know, Scott, after the 60 Minutes interview, I mean, we discussed a lot of the details, but one thing that I did want to ask you about is, you know, the figure of Ginny Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, really emerged. And I think a lot of people are curious to know what will come of that. Does the January 6th committee have their sights set on her? And will we learn more about what the plans are for that tomorrow?
Yeah. Her attorney has confirmed she will do this voluntary interview with the January 6th committee. There's no one here that expects that to happen or be a component of tomorrow's hearing. But this committee does still have time. It's worth reinforcing the value or the significance of Ginny Thomas to this committee. Wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, she's believed to have sent text messages to former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows urging he fight the 2020 election results and work to change the 2020 election results. So she's been a figure of interest for this committee for quite some time. The committee will continue its work, the panel says, after tomorrow's hearing, even if tomorrow's hearing is the final one, because they have to issue a final written report. They're legislatively required to issue a final written report, and an interview with Ginny Thomas could be a critical component of that final written report. Now, it's not as easy for America to digest a dense written report as it is a televised hearing with video components and interviews and presentations. But the committee has said that written report really is their valedictory, their most critical kernel, because it's going to be a codification of all that they've found. A Ginny Thomas interview could very much be part of it.
The written record. Scott, we also should talk to you about jury selection beginning in the trial of Oath Keepers founder Stewart Rhodes. He and 4 others face charges of seditious conspiracy. He is a particularly interesting character in all of this. I'm hoping you can explain a little bit more about who he is and the weight of those charges, seditious conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because there are 870 or so federal defendants so far in the U.S. Capitol attack, and many of them have gone to court for trial or pleaded guilty, and eventually there have been so many, it could become white noise. This case should not be. The case of Stewart Rhodes and his 4 co-defendants, accused Oath Keeper seditious conspirators, they're the highest level U.S. Capitol riot defendants to go to trial, facing the highest level charges and the most severe accusations. The prosecutors are arguing at this trial in the coming days that this group came ready for attack on January 6th, that they weren't here organically, that they raised money, that they staged guns outside the Washington, D.C. city limits and came with a battle plan to disrupt the Congress, disrupt the count, and attack the peaceful transition of power. Stewart Rhodes is the founder of this far-right Oath Keepers group. 4 others who are going to sit trial with him are members of the Oath Keepers. Jury selection's underway now. They brought 150 prospective jurors before the courthouse. We expect the selection process will take 2 days. This trial, so significant, the cases and the accusations so provocative, Lana and Lilia, this could be a 3 to 4 week trial here in Washington.
Well, a month that we'll be watching and following up with all those details. The allegations are sure very severe. Scott MacFarlane, thank you so much.